Everybody here loves Jacoby. Everybody saw what he had at a very young age. By 6th grade, everybody's like, he's gonna go somewhere and be something.
Jacoby has always been destined for greatness. I mean, that's something that I saw from the very beginning. So talented, so selfless, a great team player. I just knew that he had great things in store for him. The sky's the limit for him. He could reach any dream that he might have. So he's going to be just fine at University of Tennessee.
It's been a long road for him. Seeing him play in the colors of our home state is going to be exciting.
You never forget the roads that raised you. The cracked concrete, the corner stores, the leaning hoop where it all started. Jacoby Gillespie made it out of Greenville, Tennessee. He left to make a name for himself. Now he's coming back to leave a legacy. Because when you play for the place that raised you, every shot means a little bit more.
Him and his brother literally played basketball in the basement since they were like 2 or 3. I mean, that's all we had was 2 little Tykes basketball goals, and they just went up and down constantly.
As like a kid, I would always want to dribble. And then my dad, he would make me go in like the garage and do 100 dribbles with my right hand and then 100 dribbles with my left hand. He's kind of been driven by his older brothers, but he always had to keep up. So I grew up just traveling around watching them play, so I always wanted to do it. I would always want to try to play against them, but I would never win. Boys, I don't know. I don't have girls. I was a single mom for a long time. They were just my joy and light all the time.
By the age when most kids are beginning kindergarten, Jacoby Gillespie was beginning to find his stride on the court.
YMCA, like 5-year-old league, I was always kind of ahead of everybody where I was from.
That was at a UT game when he was little.
Oh, that's cute. Is that him right there?
Yeah. I think being smaller was probably his drive when he was little, because he kind of got put to the side a lot. I'll never forget it. He was in like 3rd grade. They gave him this uniform that probably came to his ankles, and the jersey came down to probably past his knees. I was mad because I was thinking, why did they give him this uniform? And he went out there and showed everybody up. And it was like, where's this come from? And he's like, I don't need a uniform that fits, I can play.
As he grew older, so did his drive to perfect his game.
After he got like in elementary school, 5th or 6th grade, he started wanting to go to the gym at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I would be by myself though, just working till school started.
But it wasn't just basketball. Jacoby started to make waves on the gridiron too.
Football was probably the first thing he loved. It was serious, like Pee Wee was serious. But after that, when he got to middle school, it became more basketball because we started doing travel ball like in Knoxville and traveling all over the country after that. He learned a lot from the like 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And he was actually only like 5'5" in middle school, like 8th grade, literally short.
He was smaller than most, but that didn't stop Jacoby from suiting up with the Green Devils his freshman year.
He played defensive back, played receiver. When he stepped on the football field, he wanted to be the best receiver, defensive back he could be. Same thing when he stepped on the basketball court, he wanted to be the best player that he could be.
But that drive wasn't enough to land him a spot on the varsity basketball team. He had to settle for JV.
Early in his career, just as a freshman, he didn't really get much time, and you could tell it bothered him. And so whenever that happens, kids really have 2 options. They either work harder or they just kind of sulk, and it just made him work harder. There was a chip there, especially early, and he really committed himself to getting better. And then going into his sophomore year, you just really started to see him take off.
He quit football. When he didn't get put on varsity that year, he just went straight and got in the gym for 3 solid months while they played football. I think he could have done both and been fine. I think it was in his head.
During the time between his freshman and sophomore years, Jacoby prioritized his growth. Literally.
Then going into his sophomore year, he started growing, and he was about 5'8". And then going into his junior year, he grew from 5'8" to 6'1".
We played football as a freshman, then didn't play as a sophomore, came back out as a junior, really bought into the weight room, which really, I think, helped escalate his basketball game, just changing his body from all the hard work that he was willing to put in the weight room.
And I went back junior year because all my friends were playing, so I wanted to play, and then I ended up being really good at it. But it was always basketball.
We called him the Green Mamba here. He was just very, very smooth and would just slither through defenses. And so his junior and senior year where he won the ball, and his confidence gave other people confidence. And we had some kids that were not the greatest basketball players, but were able to thrive because of his leadership.
Whether it was sinking shots or breaking tackles, Jacoby kept making noise on both the basketball court and the football field.
Virginia Tech and Duke and Vanderbilt, they had all offered him a football scholarship. Well, I want to play basketball. I don't want to play football. So he made that choice first.
If it, didn't have that opportunity, I think he would have played Division I football.
Jacoby's grind on the court eventually paid off, leading Greenville to the program's first state title to wrap up his junior year.
In the state championship game, our first year, we were down by, I think it was 1, and got the ball in his hands, and instead of trying to take a bad shot, he turned it, and it got turned one more time to our point guard, who hit a wide open three-pointer and got us a state championship. And so I think that's kind of emblematic of the type of athlete and the type of kid that he is.
We never won a state championship in basketball before, so that was fun just to be the first team to ever do it.
The state championship trophy. When we won his junior year, Kobe took it in the locker room and was holding, they were all excited, cheering, and broke the arm off.
2022 is a totally different state tournament. I think we won by 20-something in the first game. Very tight in the second game, almost gave it away, but again, he made some plays at the end. And then in the state championship game, I think we ended up winning by almost 30.
Back-to-back state titles. Jacoby had solidified his legacy at Greenville High School and was no longer in the shadows of his older siblings.
I watched my brothers do it for football. They won back-to-back state champions, and basketball never did it. So for us to finally get that done, it meant a lot. It was fun just seeing all the signs and stuff saying back-to-back. So yeah, it was just fun to be able to do that twice.
It's not just going to be remembered by Kobe, and it won't just be remembered by his teammates, but it'll be remembered by our entire community as well.
And what better way to cap off his high school career? Jacoby was voted Class 3A Mr. Basketball in 2022.
It was one of the best moments of my life. I know it was his. In junior year, he got a finalist, and we thought he would win it that year, but he didn't. So it was like the next year, I was like, if he doesn't win this, I'm going to come unglued in this gym. He's walking out there to get Mr. Basketball, and the other boys that are finalists with him before they picked that day were like a foot taller, but he won it. So it was really a dream come true for him and me, because we had just been waiting.
After his high school career, Jacoby moved on to play D1 basketball at Belmont University in Nashville.
And that was like my best offer. I visited like a week later, and then I committed like right after the visit.
I think he understood what a great program Belmont was and just how much success they had had. I think early on at Belmont, the things that I felt like kind of changed for him, especially year 1 to year 2, was just a comfort playing in a system. That sometimes takes a little bit of time, and I think you really saw him become comfortable playing in Belmont's system that second year, and that's why you saw his production go up.
It just made me grow up a lot, because I went there as like an 18-year-old kid, so I was just like a little kid, but now When I left Belmont, I knew like I was ready for something new and just I was up for the task. I was averaging like 17, it wasn't that hard for me anymore, so I feel like I knew during the season I could go play. I entered the portal after sophomore year.
Maryland soon became his new home.
Belmont was great. Coaches were great. Maryland was great. I think he needed that. He needed that 2 years at Belmont and then to prove himself. And then at Maryland, he further did that.
I probably wasn't ready physically, but I definitely knew I wanted to play Power 5.
At Maryland, I felt like even though he could score it and he would do some things, I felt like his ball distribution was one of his greatest strengths while he was at Maryland.
It was a lot different than anything I was used to, but just my teammates around me and the coaches, they made it so easy, so it was fun.
During his junior season at Maryland, Jacoby started every single game, led the Terps in assists for the season, averaged 14.7 points per game, and helped lead the team to the program's first Sweet 16 since 2016.
Our town actually put up red and gold ribbons a couple days before the Sweet 16. You'll see people on Facebook that are sporting their Crab 5 gear and just stuff like that. So people have definitely bought into Kobe at Maryland.
It's crazy because, I mean, when I was at Belmont, I never thought I was leaving. I thought that's where I was going to be for 4 years. And then I ended up leaving sophomore year, and I thought Maryland was going to be my last 2 years. I was going to be there. And then I ended up, coach left, and then it opened up this door. So it's definitely a blessing.
After his junior season at Maryland, Jacoby once again entered the transfer portal. And that's when the phone started to ring all over again.
Rick Barnes, I mean, he called me the first time and I didn't answer because I didn't know the number. Like it was showing up like it was spam or something. And I actually searched the number because I thought, who's calling? I don't want to call someone back that I didn't want to call back. And it said Rick Barnes. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just declined his call. So I called him back and I was like talking to him and he was like, we really want your son, we love him. We waited for Jacoby to make the decision. He couldn't sleep, he couldn't do anything. He was just nervous wreck. He was anxiety ridden for a week. And I said, Kobe, you're gonna have to make a decision. You know in your heart what you wanna do.
So, I mean, they were just kind of supporting me wherever, but they definitely wanted me to come here.
And all my friends are like, when is he going to say it? Because we're all just like on pins and needles. He told me that morning that he knew what he wanted to do. He was going to come home. And his grandfather actually cried. I worked for him. We both cried in the hallway at work. I mean, it was just, it's like a dream come true.
I mean, it was crazy just because I always watched those games as a kid, but to be a part of it, it just felt crazy, just exactly what you would think. Well, I told my dad when I was younger that I wanted to play for Tennessee, so when I first told him I was coming here, he was like, you told me that when you was younger.
Tennessee basketball landed Maryland point guard Jacoby Gillespie from the transfer portal on Friday afternoon. The Greenville, Tennessee native is coming back home for his senior season. Now that the Zakai Ziegler point guard era is over at Tennessee, Gillespie was the most important prospect and piece for the Vols to land this offseason.
I mean, I've always had a basketball in my hand, and it's got me through high school. I was always wanting to play basketball, and I mean, it got me here to Tennessee, so I feel like it means everything to me.
Well, number one, you can expect him to be a very respectful kid. He's a kid that's going to listen. He's a kid that wants to be the best that he can be, and on top of that, he wants his team to be the best that they can be. He's an unselfish player, but he's also got dog in him as well, and so he's I feel like he's one of the best combinations of players that you can have.
From Greenville to Belmont and all the way to Maryland, Jacoby Gillespie will finish his college basketball career in his home state wearing the orange and white.
Tennessee's just always been a winning program, especially since Barnes been here. So, I mean, I feel like what we do every day, we work hard, we do a lot more than I did at Maryland. So I feel like that's really what sets the tone of how good you can be.
Kobe has said since he's been there, I've never had a coach like him. he challenges him, and he's hard. And he's like, this is like the hardest practices I've ever had in my life.
How to be a pro, because I mean, you got to be here early or on time. If you need treatment, get treatment, just little things like that. And he's always so goofy off the court, so just how to have a balance.
Jacoby is so naturally gifted and talented. There'll be some things that he can improvise on. He can make plays on putting his own twist on it, his own spin on it. So he's doing great, and he's picking things up quickly.
With beloved point guard Zakai Ziegler leaving a hole in the Vols roster, Jacoby says he is more than ready to lead this team and become the new face of Tennessee's offense.
I have a different game than Zakai, but I feel like I can fill those shoes.
When you lose the perimeter players that we did and you want to start there at that position, it was important, and the fact that his love for the state, his love for this university and wanting to come back. I mean, one of the last things he said to me when he left here, he said, I've been waiting a long time to take a shot on this court.
Kobe's dream is the NBA, obviously. And he's told him numerous times, we're going to get you there.
Jacoby Gillespie can be the face of the Tennessee basketball team.
He embodies the values, I think, that Tennessee would want their players to exhibit and exude. For our program, and I think most coaches would probably say this, that it's not really just about all the wins and losses, but it's about seeing kids develop and take advantage of opportunities they've been given. And so having an opportunity to see him take advantage of that it has been very rewarding.
It's awesome. Words can't describe what he means to this community, and see him have the success that he's had is just awesome.
When you live in Greenville, Tennessee, it's not easy to get seen.
Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something because you're from a small town like Greenville. Just keep working. I feel like that's who made me who I am, just growing up there. Because I mean, it's really, you know everybody knows you. So I mean, yeah, it means a lot to me.
There's pictures of him as a child at UT games, and it's like so weird how you just like, oh my gosh, it's just a full circle moment, I think. He just makes us all so proud, makes us all want to be better.